Hi friends, I hope wherever you are in the world you are happy and healthy. My name is Tammy. If you're new here, welcome. And if you're returning, welcome back. I really appreciate your support and that you are choosing to come hang out with me some more. So I thought today we would do another video response to Garden Goddess Tarot and Rose Honey Ritual. First they did the Only 10 mass market, and now this is the Only 10 indie decks hashtag, but this is my Oracle edition. So I have a lot of decks. I have too many decks, especially for someone who is not a card slinger professionally. I'm not. I have a different job. But I do love my decks and I love the artwork. And so I collect. Kind of like I collect with my makeup too. I'm going to be honest with you. Yes, this is part of my self-care. Yes, this is part of my spirituality. But I also think that this is my hoarding genes coming down to with the whole collection thing. So I thought I would go ahead and do my Oracle decks. Next time I'll do my tarot decks, kind of like I did with the Only 10 mass market. And I hope you enjoy this video. Also, if you have any of these decks, please comment down below. Do you like these decks? What's one of your 10? If you could only have 10 indie Oracle decks, what would yours be? And I'd love to get to know you. All right, let's get started. All right, so these are not ranked. It's hard enough just to pick 10 indie oracles that I love. So these are not ranked. I love these all, so it'd be really hard to rank them. Anyways, this one is the Glow Oracle by Robyn Voisey. Now, this is an oracle. Like, look how beautiful this box is. This is an oracle featuring different animals and their relationship with light and messages that they can share with us and provide. It has, I'm going to move this to the side, this beautiful blue edging. I mean, it came like that. This is a deck that I backed on Kickstarter. And as I said, it is about animals and little creatures, I should say, and their relationship with light, whether they are bioluminescent, biofluorescent, or iridescent, and some messages that they may have for us. Now, I'm not going to be doing a total flip through of these decks because we will go ahead and do that at some later date, and it would take forever if I was doing that for these 10 decks. But I will show you a couple cards for cards, not cars, cards for each of these decks. So for example, the Fire Beetle, attention to detail and positive outcome. And each of these also have like a little symbol. So let me see if I can find a couple to share. The Horseshoe Crab, wisdom of nature and feminine energy. Pyrosome, find your tribe, teamwork. Firefly, magic, new possibilities and hope. The polka dot tree frog, express yourself, and out with the old. How cute is he? Let's see here. The spring hare, forward momentum and keep your focus. The budgie, charm, charisma, and flirtation. And last one I'll show you is the hawksbill sea turtle, pace yourself, ancient wisdom. Like, I also just love the colors in this deck. It is just so gorgeous. I'm really glad that I supported this on Kickstarter. All right, so here is the little white book. And in this little white book, there are descriptions of what bioluminescence is, iridescence, and biofluorescence. It has a couple different spreads. And then for each card, it has a little picture of it in color. It says whether it's bioluminescent, fluorescent, etc. And then it tells about the creature and the message. And then it gives a tidbit of awesomeness. So for example, for the black dragonfish, the tidbit of awesomeness is the black dragonfish is the only known creature to have chlorophyll in its eyes. This is believed to help them see red light. So it's just such a beautifully well done deck. And, you know, you learn something new. At least I do with this deck. So if there is a link to where you can get these decks, I will be sure to try to share them in the description area. I am not affiliated with any of these creators, so I'm not getting any kickback or anything. I just want to share the information. So in case you're interested in this deck, so you can also support these wonderful creators. All right, the next one is my Inner Guidance deck, written and illustrated by Nadine, Sophie, Waiblinger. Now, this deck, this is just saying I'm number 70 of 280. This deck is also just gorgeous. I am not going to edge these. This did not come edged. You can kind of see the black versus the white from the backs. But it's just a beautiful deck. And each of these cards also have hidden symbols in them. So here's the Dream Whisperer, Inner Guidance. I'm going to just show you a couple of these. Like Retreat and Reflect. Isn't he so cute? And let's see. And here is the symbol in this one. Okay, so they each have a symbol. It's almost like a, you know, appreciate and celebrate. And his symbol is right there. I mean, that's gorgeous. Deeper Truths. I could sit here and say they're all gorgeous because, I mean, this artwork is just phenomenal. Like, make a choice. I would like to just stay there. Can I just be there where it looks like literally like the moon is just pouring out? Gorgeous. Keep your secrets safe. I mean, this cat is what sold me. I'm going to be honest, though. This was one of the first cards I saw. Silence the Mind. And to have this beautiful black cat in the dark with the full, like, this is just a beautiful, beautiful card. Anyways, the whole deck is gorgeous. And the little white book is pretty big. It provides a picture of the card, then a couple sentences about it, like, you know, to make you think. Then it has a meaning, a message, and some additional keywords. And let's see here. Also, like I said, each of these cards has a hidden symbol. So you can look back in the book to see the symbols to get some additional keywords about the card. So for meaning for the card. And does it have, no, it does not have any spreads in here that I recall ever seeing. Let's see here. I could be wrong. Nope. Okay. So that was my Inner Guidance deck. I also supported that on Kickstarter. I think I've supported all these on Kickstarter. I'm just going to be, I did not support this one on Kickstarter. I just went to MJ Cullinane. I don't know if I'm saying that right. If I am not, my apologies. Site, because I first got the Crow Tarot and the Crow Oracle and just fell in love with them. And so when I was there, I saw this one and I love this deck too. So here are the backs with the female symbol all over them. I have not edged this. I don't think I ever will. But it has different women through history who have made an impact on the world. R.I.P. Ruth. 。 And the artwork is just gorgeous. I love the size of these cards. It's a nice size so you can actually see the card. Like I like my Our Story deck, Our Story Tarot, but the cards pictures are so small because it has these big borders around it. So you don't get to see the artwork as much. I do love the book though. This book just gives a little bit of information about each card. So you look up the person and it tells you when they were born and when they died, what they're known for, something that the person said, and the meaning of the card. And then let's see here. No, there's no spreads in this one. So, I mean, it's nice that it does have like something that they are known to say, and it also tells you, you know, a little bit of background information about them. I wish the book was bigger, but it is a little deck. But I love this deck. All right. Next up is my Plant Spirit Oracle. And I got this off of Etsy. And this is by Dana O'Driscoll. Now, these are some big size cards. I mean, my hand's little, but, you know, it's a nice size card. I have not edged it. I probably won't. I do not want to mess this one up. These are really pretty. It has what the plant is and then some keywords. And each of these plants have something associated with it that can kind of help trigger our memory of the card. Like, so for example, blackberry, entanglement, trapped, powerlessness. And something I like with having the porcupine there, you know, you have the blackberry brambles, I think they're called, where, you know, they'll snag you. And so having the porcupine, it kind of, you know, goes along with that. So these are gorgeous. All these are gorgeous. This is Witch Hazel. Future, Generation, and Optimism. Let's see. I'm just going to show more. There's one here that I love, this Bee Balm one. Community, collective, expectation. Staghorn sumac, cunning, trickery, intelligence. So, you know, there's a fox there. So, very pretty deck. Now, this book, I believe it was sold separate, but I'm not positive on that. If this is still available, I will link the Etsy shop. Let me show you the book. So this is the book. It is a nice size book. And so it has meanings, recipes, and journeys. So it does have some spread. So like here's roots and shoots spread, plant spirit guide spread, above below spread. But then for each card, it has some information. So here's our blackberry card again. It gives another name for it, some keywords, and then it talks about the blackberry and why. Divination meaning, herbalism, and then it gives you a recipe. So for this one, the recipe is blackberry shrub. Shrubs are vinegar-based drinks that are tangy, refreshing, delicious. To make a blackberry shrub, combine equal parts of good quality apple cider vinegar, fresh and frozen blackberries, and sugar, or a sugar substitute like honey or stevia. 1 cup of each makes a great batch. Blend together and let the mix sit in the refrigerator at least 3 days. Add 1 ounce blackberry shrub to 5 ounces of sparkling water and enjoy chilled with ice. So, like, I love that it tells you about the plant, but it also gives you like a recipe. So like for black raspberry, it gives you a recipe on how to make raspberry fruit leather. So if you get this book, or if you get this deck, I would definitely recommend also picking up the book if you have that in your budget. All right. The next deck is new to me. It's my little Cryptid Oracle. I'm just going to pull this out. I did a full walkthrough, like a flip through of this deck. So to see the whole deck and to see the little book, please go back and check out that video. But I am going to show you a couple of the cards. So emotion, Momo, confrontation, the unicorn is luminosity, skunk 8 is freedom, Yeti is strength. So this is just a super cute little deck. It's very small, so it's very travel friendly. And the book, okay, let me see if I can get these in here without ruining these cards. Ugh. There we go. These are the extras, I think. Because they did provide me with a few extras that I could choose between. Okay. There we go. And so I stuck all mine in there. The book is a nice size little book. It's a hardback book. It's super cute. And this is by Sebastian Osso, this deck. So, for example, it does have a color picture. It has some keywords. Then it tells you about the creature and the meaning. All right. This was another deck that I supported on Kickstarter, and it was a wonderful campaign. All right, my next is my Uncover Your Past Lives Oracle by Mandy Peterson. I also supported this on Kickstarter. This is like one of two of my only round decks. Now, it has this beautiful purple edging, and you can use these cards, you can use both sides. So on one side, like it'll say, you know, the time frame, the lesson, you know, what happened, the death, the location, the trauma, the faith, and they're all different. So for example, let's look at these two. Okay, the trauma. So on this card, the trauma says mental illness. On this card, material loss. Okay, so you can use the backs, they're all different, but then also the fronts also have several different words. So the fall of civilization, from greed, corruption, indulgence, ignorance, you know, imprisonment. Imprisonment happened, imprisoned, freed, you're the imprisoner, you know, you escaped. So based off of kind of like where it's kind of pointing to, that's how I do it. I just think that not only are these cards beautiful, this has just been my favorite like past life reading cards. Out of body experience, astral experiences, between lives, post-life review, out of body experience, near-death experience. So yeah, this is very unique to my collection. And to be fair, I do not play with it, you know, that often, because how often do you need to pull out cards to like take a peek at your past life, you know? Not very often. And since I do not necessarily read for others, but it is a deck that I'm glad that I have. I also supported the book. So have a nice content section, so you can find everything. It tells you how to use the cards. So here, if you put 4 cards together, which words meet up together, or you can do it like I was saying, what's on the top, what's the first top part. So then for each card, you have like a little mini picture of the card. Then based off of what section it was, it tells you. So like for banished, if it says exile, there's the archetype information, but it also says, you know, what that could mean. So it does it for each one. So exiled, shunned, disowned, forced underground. It just has a lot of information. Rural living, peasant, farmer, woodsman, hunter, world war, allied defender, allied invader, Hiroshima, and then Holocaust on that card. And then it also does give you some pages that you can write in. I do not, you know. Then it tells you about how to use the other side with the eyes on it. So another one that I'm really glad that I supported on Kickstarter. Okay, we are wrapping down to our last 4. The next one came in this beautiful bag. And I also got the book. And this is the Embroidered Graveyard. And so these cards were first created because someone did the embroidery and then like on an actual fabric and then made a copy image for the card. Now this deck is supposed to be like used for spirit communication if you want, but it also is used for like seeking inwards. How is it that they word it? So spirit communication, introspection, also for helping with grief and depression. So it could be used in several different ways. And so for each card, there's a huge picture. So for this one, it's overcome. So it says a little bit about the overcome card. If you are using it for spirit communing, if you're using it for introspection, what it might mean, and or if you're using it for, I guess it doesn't say for the grief and depression, just the spirit communing and introspection. But also you can use it for shadow work with the introspection and grief, anxiety. So big book on that. And then let's look at some of these cards. And I mean, look at the inside. Oops. Let me pull this down so you can see the inside of this bag too. I mean, so beautiful. And then in mine, I've kept my little like mat in here, my cloth, spreadsheet. That doesn't sound right, spreadsheet, spread cloth. So this is the Embroidered Graveyard. And does it say? Yeah, here it's the Embroidered Forest. This is a first edition, so it does have the community card. Okay, so photoed embroidery by Alicia Vamvukakis. Vamvukakis. If I'm saying that wrong, I am so sorry. And these are 350 GSM cards. Okay. Again, that's just so pretty. And then inside, it says, and Death said, but I am not the end. No, not at all. I'm simply the mirror you've been watching your life through. And my, what a lovely adventure you've had. And then the inside. Now, these have this like nice copper to match, you know, the bag and everything. And then also the back of the cards almost look like it has like a copper sheen there too. These are reversible should you choose to use them that way. And so here is spring equinox, summer. I'm going to flip to a couple of these. They, them, faithful, so like your pets, adventure, release fear, or release tears, self-love. How pretty is that? With like then the roses for the eyes. Ooh, let's look at this one right here. Oh, I had it right at the back first time. Live deliciously. Grandma. And goodbye. I think that's a good one to move on to the next deck. Again, if I can find where you might be able to find these decks, I will try to link them. Just because, I mean, these are not necessarily decks you see every day, and they're just so gorgeous. And, you know, with them being indie decks and small business, I'm all for supporting artists. All right, the next deck is my Earth, Moon, and Shadow Oracle. And again, this is another deck that I supported on Kickstarter. Do you see a thread here? Do you see a common, you know, denominator on all these? Kickstarter, Kickstarter, Kickstarter. So in this book, a little information from the artist, from the author, how to work with this oracle, shadow work prep, cleansing and connecting with this oracle, some suggestions, trigger and transformation cards. It has a couple different spreads. So the shadow reveal spread, attachment spread, working with difficult shadow spread, shadow integration spread. And then for the cards, there is the name of the card, some keywords, a little quote, then a black and white picture of the card, some information about the card, some meaning. And this ruandvervain.com. So, and I think I think they might still have this. And it came in this beautiful bag. It's a snug little fit too. Here's the pretty box. And it does say that this deck is by Serefina Yeshe Mesa, and the artwork is by, I think that says Cat L. Amsel. Yeah, it looks like it says Cat L. Amsel. So I've not edged this either. These are the backs. And then it also includes some additional spreads and stuff in here. Or actually, it's the same ones that are in the book, but they're in card format too. All right, hidden path. Like, okay, first of all, see this gorgeous artwork? Like, the artwork sold me. Yeah, pretty much that's always the case though. So, you know, hey, but hidden paths, awareness, mindfulness, self-mastery. Phases of the moon, impermanence, enlightenment, cycles. Wolf moon, restoration, incubation, growth. The nest, spiritual hearth, comfort, and well-being. Cold moon, stillness, abundance, withdraw. third eye blind, ignoring intuition, self-doubt. Autumn winds, new path, changes, unseen forces. I think that says inner guardian. Protection, defense, refuge. Bleeding heart. Like, hello. That card just, ugh. I can feel that one. Bleeding heart, rawness, vulnerability, compassion. They hit that. Like, chef's kiss on that card. Earthing, grounding, centering, connection. The chameleon, adaptability, shapeshifting, conformity. Setting sun, depression, habits, suffering. I mean, as above, so below, duality, balance, flow. And shadow and light, demons, shadow self, integration. And then the lotus, the past, transcendence, evolution. So like, hello, gorgeous. These cards are gorgeous. I think you can see why I love all these decks. Like, it's pretty hard not to. These are all very talented individuals to create such beautiful decks. All right, last two. This is another one by MJ Cullinane. This is it's two of them, but they go together. The Urban Crow Oracle and the Urban Crow Expansion Guidebook. So obviously I loved the first one so much that I had to get her expansion. And this bag came with the expansion because once you got the expansion, all the cards did not fit into the box anymore, but they did all fit into the expansion along with the two little guidebooks. So mimicry. And I'm not sure which are the expansion or which are the originals, just because I have mixed them all together. I'm sure I can go back and look at the guidebooks and separate them if I wanted, but to me, they go together, and so I will keep it that way. Waterproof, mimicry, battle, survival, ghosts, bond, risk, soar, observation, strength, dominance. All right. Insight. All right, let's figure out. I think Insight was, I want to say it was an original, but we will double check. So here is the original guidebook. Yep, Insight, turned right to it. Insight, crows and ravens. Here we go. Crows and ravens are problem solvers. Crows make tools and learn from each action. In this illustration, you see the crow dropping rocks into the water. After testing a couple of rocks, the crow began to understand the relationship between the stones and the water. It learned with each rock the water would rise, and as a result, the buoyant shrimp would rise too. Insight asks that you take the time to examine your situation, test out different strategies to gain wisdom. When you understand the relationship between all contributing factors, you will be able to remove any obstacles that may have been in your way. So, like, now these little books, these little books just provide like a little excerpt about the card and what meaning you could take from it. Let's see if we can find one from the Expansion. Was preparation from the expansion? No, I don't think so. No. All right, let's see here. Okay, Allie was. I thought Allie might be from the expansion. All right, Allie. So Allie has a bit more information, or at least it's a little bit larger in type. So let's see what it says for Allie. Although there is an incredible amount of food and resources in such a narrow space, there we go. Maneuvering through an alley can have its challenges. There is little room for error, especially if traveling at a fast pace. Alley fits into the expansion pack as a reminder to slow down, pay attention to boundaries, and focus on details. Alleys are often not very well lit, and therefore you may not see as clearly as you would if you were on the sun's bright light. Shadows play a role in alleys, often distorting what is real, causing our minds to play tricks on us, or adding an element of fear to a situation. Alley may also indicate that an opening may be narrow or that conditions need to be recognized for safe passages. When alley appears in a reading, details, although potentially obscured, will be necessary. Much like threading a needle, you may find a task requires more care and attention as the odds are stacked against you. All right. And these go, so, like, look at this back. Hello, beautiful backs. And they're all the same. The expansion pack is too. And these go so well. I pair these all the time with my Crow Tarot. And I have the mass market on the Crow Tarot, but these I have the indie form on. All right, and that brings us to our last deck of my only 10 indie decks, Oracle Edition. And that is my Sacred Bee Oracle, Wisdom of the Sacred Bee. Again, this is another tight, snug fit. There we go. Phew. And this is another beautiful box. And the edgings on this deck is just... So this one is obviously purple. Here's the little white book. The edging is this beautiful purple, the backs. All right, so let's look at a couple of them. Valves, the Soul Journey, and there's our bee. Ascension, Overwhelm, Constraints. And so within that chain, there's the beehive. Tranquility. Etheric body. Melancholy. Let's see here. We have the Queen. Now, you may have noticed these all have a different color, and that is because this deck, oh, look, this one stayed out. All right, Passion. Passion stayed out. This deck is spread into different sections. So the element of fire, the element of water, the element of air, the element of earth, and the element of aether. I can't say that. And they have, and so you'll know which deck it is because of the symbols. I think, yeah, that's aether, I believe. Yeah, and so here it shows you also. It does have a couple spreads in here. It does talk about sacred geometry. And here's the Queen card. The queen is the largest bee in the hive. She can live up to 7 years and generally only leaves the hive once to mate. She occupies herself laying 2,000 eggs a day while she is attended to by other bees. The queen is the sole reproducer in the hive, and the lineage of all bees relies on the well-being of the queen bee. In a reading, the queen represents a maternal influence, a provider, head of household, or the leader of a large group. She is the head influencer and trendsetter. Her rules are to be taken to heart, and you can trust that they are for the greater good. Let's see. And here's our passion card. And it's interesting because now that, okay, so it has all the sacred geometry in there, and so you might miss things. Like, I'll be honest, I miss that heart for passion. Like, hello. Now you just can't not see it. And so here it does talk about the picture, gives a little insight, and then some, if you pursued what your passion, so some like things that you can do some journal writing on. All right, and that is the end of that. So these are my 10 indie oracles. If I could only pick 10 indie decks, Oracle Edition, these are the indie Oracle decks that I would absolutely choose again. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if so, please be sure to give me a thumbs up. It really helps. And if you're interested in content like this, or content around makeup and skincare and life in general, please consider subscribing. I would really appreciate it, and I would love to get to know you. So in the comments below, if you have any of these decks, I would love to know your opinion on them. Are any of these decks that you would be interested in if you don't have them? And what's one of your favorite indie decks? All right, until next time, stay blessed and stay beautiful. Bye.